Was the equation for two-way shear? Do we have calculated the shear force? Hmm? Have you written it in your what we can say notebook? Whatever we have taken in the last lecture. Hmm? So the equation for shear force, we have calculated the equation for the shear force. Okay, and the equation for the shear force is, I will write here, shear force Vu is equal to shear force Vu is equal to, what's the equation? It is 2174.87 minus 297.52 d minus 297.52 d square. This was our equation number 1. Okay, this was our equation number 1. This we have found out in the last lecture. Am I right? Yes, no? At least you can tell that, no? Hmm? Is it right? Okay. So now moving further in this regard, see, this is the shear force equation which we have calculated in terms of D. So we have calculated the equation in terms of depth. So here D is unknown. Okay, so this is the shear force Bu which is actually present on that footing. Okay. Now some of the shear force is resisted by concrete. You know that for shear force we provide the stirrups to resist the shear force. But some of the shear force is resisted by the concrete and remaining shear force is resisted by those stirrups. Okay, so now this is the total shear force equation. Now out of which now we will find out shear resisted by the concrete. Okay, so shear resisted shear resisted by concrete. The notation for this is VUC. This is nothing but shear resisted by concrete. So you know that we want to calculate the shear force. What is the formula for shear force? It is shear stress into area. Basic formula is stress into area. Okay. So what is the shear stress in concrete? The permissible shear stress in concrete is tau c. Okay. And area, you know, area it is B into D. B into D is the area of the cross section we considered. Okay. B into D. So now if we put the values, then VUC is equal to, if we put the values, then VUC, that is the shear resisted by the concrete, is equal to tau c 1118 we have already calculated. Okay, into tau c BD. Now what is the area? Here we are going to consider area. So area, if you want to see what area is there, then I will draw first this diagram so that it will be clear to you. Now suppose this is your footing. Okay. So inside the footing, now here it is the column. This is the column. Okay, and your area which is going to be punched, that I will draw over here. This is the punching area. This total area will move under. See, you know that this is how much? This is 0.5. This is also 0.5. Okay, this is 2.75 meters. This is also 2.75 meters. Okay, and this is 0.5 plus D. Okay, how it is 0.5 plus D? Because if you measure these distances, this and this, both are D by 2. So the critical section is at a distance of D by 2. Similar is the thing at the top also. So So this much area will try to punch through the footing. This much area will try to punch through the footing. So this is d by 2, d by 2. Okay, this is also d by 2. This side, vertical side, is also 0.5 plus d. Okay, now this is, so now imagine this, when because of the punching action of the column, when this whole area is punched through this footing. Okay, ये जो पूरा एरिया है, ये अगर ये फुटिंग के आर पार हो गया, पास हो गया, तो एरिया कौन सा बचेगा? विच एरिया विल रिमेन? If this total area will get punched through this whole footing, then what area will remain? The remain area I will show you here by hatching. Okay, so this area will remain. Okay, whatever I am showing in this blue ink, this area will remain as it is. Okay, this area will remain as it is. Okay, so how much is this area? Okay, so this is the area which will remain after the punching. Okay, now shear resisted by the concrete, if you want to know which area will be there, so that is why we have considered this area. ये जो रह गया एरिया है, हैश्ड एरिया, ये कितना था? दिस एरिया. हाउ मच इज दिस एरिया? इफ यू वांट टू कैलकुलेट दिस एरिया, what will be the area? It is 2.75 square. Okay, this total area minus this much, minus, it is 0.5 plus d bracket square. This we have already considered while calculating the shear force Vu. Correct? While calculating the Vu, this area we have already considered. Now we are calculating the shear resisted by concrete. So for that, now what will I do? I will try to draw some 3D so that you will be able to understand. Okay, so now here, uh, this is, I will try to draw over here. This is our footing. Okay, so this is our footing, and now here is the depth of the footing. This is also the depth. Okay, so on that side also I will draw it by dotted line. See, this is the, this surface will not be visible to us, so I have drawn it by dotted line. So I will try to match with this. Okay, so this is the footing. Okay, so now if you see which is the area, now if this punch through this footing, now see, if this is your footing, okay, this whole, this is your footing. Okay, and now suppose this is your punching area, this mouse is your punching area, and if it punched through the footing, which area will come into the contact? The area of the footing will come into the contact will be this area. On this side, whatever is the area there on this side, this area will come into the contact. Okay, so now if I show you here the area, then it will be, see, the contact area I will hash it so that this area will come into the contact. This is the area. Okay, this is the area of the footing which come into the contact. that I am hatching over here. Okay. This much of area will come into the contact. Let us be, this is the cross sectional area 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Now how much is this area? How much is this area? Okay, so this is your 0.5 plus d. Okay, so 0.5 plus d. So now here if I show you the dimensions from this point to this point and for this point. Okay, so this is your d, that is the depth, and this is your 0.5 plus d. Say this area 0.5 plus d. हा जो ह्याच्यातनं पंच होणार आहे, इथून पूर्णपणे आत जाणार आहे, पंचिंग होणार आहे हा एवढा एरिया. This will get through this footing. Okay, while passing through this, what is the area which come into the contact? This side area will come into the contact. Okay, this area you are seeing in the plan. This is seen in the plan, but when it pass through, whatever the area on this side, okay, area on this side, that will come into contact. Whatever the area on this side, okay, this side, this surface will come into the contact. This side area will come into the contact. This third area will be this, and fourth area is this one. Okay, all these areas will come into the contact. Okay, so what is your punching area now? Here your punching area is, if I calculate the punching area, it will be this A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4, but all the areas are same. This is 0.5 plus d, this is also 0.5 plus d, so your area will be 4 into 0.5 plus d into d. Okay, 4 into 0.5 plus d into d. So if I write over here, it is 4d into 0.5 plus d. This is the area, 4d into 0.5 plus d. Now if you solve it further, if you solve this equation further, what you will get? VUC is equal to, it is 2236 d plus 4472 d square. This is your equation number 2. If you solve this further, solve it and check it. If you multiply by these terms, what, 1118 into 4 d, if you multiply this term by inside this bracket, once you have to multiply it by 0.5, again you have to multiply it by d, again you have to multiply it by d. Okay, so 1118 into 4d plus into 0.5 plus d. Okay, so here if you multiply this inside this bracket, you will get the answer like this. This is your answer. Just 1 minute. Hello, लेक्चर चालू आहे, लेक्चर चालू आहे, मला काय ऐकू नाही, तुम्ही काय म्हणताय? इकडे येत आहे का? या इथे, लेक्चर चालू आहे माझं. हा, so once you solve this, equation 1118 into 4d, once you multiplied it by 0.5, once you multiplied it by d, after solving this you will get this thing. Okay, so okay, so VUC we have calculated. Now shear resisted by the concrete also known to us. Now what we will do, we will assume that whatever the shear force is generated in this footing, all the shear force is resisted by the concrete only. Okay, so there is no need to provide the stirrups. That is our assumption. Okay, that is the optimum thing. In slab, if you observed in DCS1, we have designed the slab. In slab we have not provided the stirrups. Why we have not provided the stirrups? because whatever the shear force is generated in the slab, all that shear force is resisted by the concrete only. Okay, this is actually happening in the slab. Okay, but in the beams what happens? In the beams, if you observe, in the beams and columns we used to provide the stirrups, because the shear force generated in the beams and columns is higher and it won't be resisted by the concrete alone. That is why the stirrups are provided. So in the footing also sometimes we provide the stirrups. Okay, normally we provide the nominal stirrups in the footing, but now here for our simplicity what we are going to do, we will assume that whatever the shear force is generated in this footing, the total shear force is resisted by the concrete only. Okay, so therefore what we are going to do, we are going to equate Vu, that is shear force, to shear resisted by the concrete. Okay, that is equation 1 and equation 2. So what is our equation 1? Equation 1 is 2174.87 minus 297.52d minus 297.52d square, which must be equal to 2236d plus 4472d square. Okay, now we have equated. Now you are having a single equation in that your d is unknown, so solve this equation and calculate the value of d and let me know the answer. I will wait for your answer. Let me know the answer, solve it fast. Four 60 mm. Okay, so here it is given as 460 mm. So D is equal to it is 0.460 meter, which is equal to 460 mm. Okay, so from two-way shear consideration, if we try to evaluate the depth, so if you consider the two-way shear action, then the minimum depth required is 460 mm, that you should provide. Okay, that is what the interpretation of this. Okay, minimum that much of depth is required. If you provide the depth to the footing less than 460, then this footing will fail in two-way shear. Okay, this footing will fail in two-way shear. So if you want to design the stable footing where the punching will be there but it will cannot penetrate through the footing, the column should not penetrate through the footing, then the minimum depth of that footing must be 460 mm. Okay, this is the first criteria. From the two-way shear we have got the depth. Okay, then secondly, now we will evaluate the depth from one-way shear consideration. Okay, so I will write over here depth depth from one-way shear consideration. Okay, so now one-way shear. Okay, so in the two-way shear you have seen that the critical section is at a distance of d by 2 from all the four sides, all the four edges of the column. Okay, so here in the that is the critical section for two-way shear, d by 2. So for one-way shear, the critical section is at a distance of d. Okay, from two edges of the column. Huh? So we will see that how it is. First of all, I will write critical section. Critical section means a section where there are high chances of failure. Okay, along that line the failure will happen. Critical section is at a distance. Critical section is at a distance d from the edge of the column. Edge of the column. Okay. So now if I draw the diagram, so again this is our footing. This is the footing. Then the column. This is the column. Okay. So now the critical section. So the critical section, it is taken at a distance d. Okay. So here I will draw the line. Okay. So this distance is d from the face of the column. This is d. And this red line which I have shown, it is the critical section, and this is called as vertical strip. This is called as vertical strip. Okay, similarly this strip you can take either on left hand side or on right hand side or left hand side. This is I have taken on the right hand side. You can also take the same strip on the left hand side, but one either left or either right. Okay, either you can go for taking the strip at right hand side, or either you can take it at the left hand side. Then next, similarly again we will show one strip either on topmost side or on bottommost side of this column. Okay, so again I will draw at the top. So this is the strip, critical section. This is called as horizontal strip, and this is also at a distance d. If you measure this distance, then this is also at a distance d. Okay, this is also at a distance d. So if you see the dimensions of the column, I will write it once again. It is 2.75 meters. This is 0.5 meter column. This side of the column is also 0.5 as it is square column. This is 2.75 meter. Okay, 2.75 meter. Now what will be this distance if I want to calculate? See, now I want to calculate what are the dimensions of this strip. Okay, you are seeing over here, this is the vertical strip, this is the horizontal strip. Now I am interested to know the dimensions of this strip. What will be this side and what is this side? Okay, that I want to evaluate. So for that purpose what I will do, so this is 2.75, so naturally this side is 2.75 meters. There is no confusion in that. But now what will be this distance? Can you tell me? I will show you. Can you calculate this much from the edge of the this column to this here? What will be this distance? What will be that distance? Can you tell me? The CG of the column and CG of the footing are coinciding with each other. Okay, they are lying on the same point. Can you calculate this much of distance which I have shown in yellow? Can you tell me that distance? What will be that distance? think on it. How to calculate that? Can you tell me? It is 1.125. Okay, answer is correct. 1.125. How we can calculate this? See here. This total is how much? 2.75. Okay, this total is how much? 0.5. So if I show you the centroid is somewhere here. Okay, and I have already told you this is not a eccentric column or eccentric footing. Okay, so the CG of the column and CG of the footing are lying on the same line at this point. Okay, so now if this total is 2.75, if this total is 2.75, from this centroid the distance will be, it is 2.75 by 2. Okay, let us assume that this distance is x. Now suppose I want to calculate the x. So x is equal to, what can I write? It is 2.75 by 2. Okay, this is 2.75 by 2. If I do that 2.75 by 2, then from this point to this end I will get the distance. Okay, so from that, if I minus this much of distance, if I minus this much up to the face of the column, ये कितना होगा? So if this total is 0.5, then this will be 0.5 by 2. Okay, so if I minus from here 0.5 by 2, so you will get the answer, and that answer will be 1.125 meter. So this x is nothing but this distance, this x is nothing but this is 1.125 meter. Okay, this is 1.125 meter. Have you understood this? Is it clear? Yes, no? Is it clear, or shall I repeat this once again? Okay, okay, so 1.125. Then now if this is 1.125, now I am interested in only this much of distance. If you see, I want only this much of distance, this distance. How much it is? This and this will be same. ये दोनों same ही रहेंगे. So what will be this? If this total is 1.125 and this is d, then this will be very easy. 1.125 minus d. Am I right? So if from this face to this edge the distance is 1.125, I want only this much of distance. So from this total distance, if I subtract this one, then I will get this remaining, and this distance is 1.125 minus d. Okay, that distance is 1.125 minus d. Okay, so now if you see the area of this strip, this area is 2.75 by 1.125 minus d. Okay, 1.125 minus d. Okay, now is it clear up to this point? Anybody is having any doubt? Okay, now see, similarly if you see for this horizontal strip, similarly if you see for this horizontal strip, then the things are also same. See, this side is 2.75, that is already known to you. Now if you want to calculate this much, what is this? Okay, how do we calculate that? Again the same thing is applied over here. This is the centroid. From centroid up to this point, okay, this much of distance, how much it is? If this total is 2.75, then from this centroid up to the last edge, up to this point, the distance will be same, 2.75 by 2. Okay, 2.75 by 2. So from this much of distance, from this much of distance, if I subtract this column's distance, if this distance, then what do I will get? I will get the distance from face of the column to this point. Okay, and which will be again same, it is 1.125, and from this 1.125, if you subtract this d, then you will get the this width of the strip. Okay, and this will be again, it is 1.125 minus d. 1.125 minus d. Now if you see both the strips, I will write here, both the strips, both the strips are having same area, same area. If you see this vertical strip, its area is 2.75 by 1.125 minus d. If you see this horizontal strip, its area is also same, 2.75 by 1.125 minus d. Okay, so both the strips are having the same area. So we can consider, therefore we can consider any one of strip for our further calculation. Any one of strip for further calculations. See here, if now the column is a square. This column is a square column. That is why you are getting same area for both the strips, vertical and horizontal. If this column is not a square column, if the column is rectangular column and your footing is rectangular or square, it doesn't matter. But if the column is rectangular column, then this distances will get changed. This width is not going to same. These two dimensions also not going to same. So in that case, you should select a strip which is having highest area or higher area. Okay. Whenever the rectangular column is there, then you must select a strip which is having high area or more area. Okay. So now we will calculate the shear force Vu. So the shear force, shear force Vu. Okay. So shear force Vu we want to calculate. What is the area of the strip? Now area of the strip, if you see, this is the area of the strip. This area. If you see over here, this is the strip. Okay. This strip we are considered over here. This much of area. Okay. This much of area. So what is the shear force now? The shear force is nothing but stress into area. Okay, stress into area. So stress is nothing but the, now here the soil pressure which is acting over here. Okay, so what was that value? Soil pressure we have calculated now in the last lecture. What was the value of that? Soil pressure. Here it is, the basic thing is that stress or pressure into area. Okay, so VU is equal to stress into area. You know the formula, basic formula. Let me know the value of soil pressure. What pressure we have calculated, and what is the area of the strip? It is in front of you, 2.75 into 1.125 minus d. So let me know the value of this stress and pressure. We have already calculated the soil pressure. Please check the value and let me know. What was our soil pressure? 297.52. Okay. So here it is. Stress is 297.52. Okay. So now simplify this and generate one equation. So VU is equal to 297.52 into 2.75 and into 1.125 once, and then these two terms should be multiplied with D also. So calculate this. So here I will write VU is equal to, you also cross verify this, 920.45 minus 818D. Okay, so it is 920.45 minus 818.18D. So this is your equation number 3. 1 or 2 already we have taken. This is your equation number 3. Now as usual we will calculate shear resisted by concrete. Okay, so shear resisted by concrete, it is VUC. Again you know the formula, it is tau CBD. Tau CBD. Okay. Now BD is the area, tau C is the permissible stress. That value is known to you. Now which is the area? You should see this strip. What will be the area of cross section which come into the contact? See, I will tell you. Suppose now this is your footing. Okay, this total is your footing. Whatever I have shown over here, this is your footing. Okay, this is your footing. Now this is the strip which is at a distance D, where the critical section is there, from where the footing can fail. From where the footing can fail. Now once this failing action takes place, if this fails like this, okay, if this fails like this, now this distance, ये कितना है टोटल 2.75, इसका भी 2.75 footing का ही part है ये. This is the part of the footing, but at a distance d what happens, due to the shear force it will fails like this. Okay, अगर ये ऐसे fail होता है, if it fails like this, ये ऐसे, so which area will come into the contact? This area will be the area of the contact. This area you should consider for the calculation. And how much is that area? This is 2.75 and this is D. Okay. So here I will draw the diagram so that it will be better for you to understand. I will draw this strip. I will draw this strip. So now here this is 1.125 minus D, this dimension. This is the strip. Okay. So now here depth D. Okay. So now here this is, we already know it is 1.125 minus D this side. Okay. This total side, this is known to you, it is 2.75 meters, and this one is D. This you all know, this is D. depth. Okay. So what is the area which will come into the contact? So if I hash that area, or I will highlight it so that you will understand which area is coming to the contact. So this area, whatever I have shown over here highlighting, okay, this area will come into the contact. This is the contact area. Okay. So this is also called as the shear area. This is our shear area. So now VUC is equal to, it is tau c, that is 1118 into BD. This area, it is 2.75 into D. So VUC is equal to, let me know the equation. What is the answer?
Zero seven four point five.
3074.5. Okay, 3074.5 D. Now this is your equation number 4. Now as usual, equate equation 3 and 4 so that you will get the value of D. Okay, again we will assume that whatever the shear force is generated in this footing, whole shear force is resisted by concrete only. Okay, so now here again you can do one thing, you equate this. So equating VU is equal to VUC. This is for single shear now. So the values are 920.45 minus 818.18D must be equal to 3074.5D. Now if you solve, you will get the value of D. Once you solve this, you will get the value of D. It is 236 mm. Okay, so D is equal to, it is 236 mm, so we will round up this depth to 240 mm. Okay, so if you see, बघा आता तुमच्या लक्षात यायला लागले का बघा थोडं थोडं, आर यू गेटिंग समथिंग फ्रॉम दिस? सी, whenever we are designing the footing, now the concern for us is the providing the depth of the footing, and footing will fail miserably due to three reasons. Okay, that is, third reason is not so much important, but still it is there. First is due to two-way shear action. Two-way shear action means what? Punching action. That column will tries to punch through the footing. That is the one reason why the footing fails. Second reason is one-way shear. One-way shear means what? This total is footing. This my two hands. It is a single footing, and it will break from this point, which is at a distance d from the face of the column. It will break like this. म्हणजे दोन भाग होते फुटिंगचे. Okay, it will separate it into two pieces. Either a vertical strip will be there, or either horizontal strip will be there. एक तर हे असं fail will, in this way it will be fail, or it will fail like this. Okay, either in horizontal strip it will fail, or either in vertical strip it will fail. Okay, so that is due to one way shear. Okay, so what we have done now, we have calculated the values of the depth by one way shear. How much is the minimum depth we should provide? For punching shear, how much is the minimum depth we should provide? That we have calculated. Now we are having two values. One is 460 mm, another is 240 mm. Okay, if you provide the depth to 240 mm, then it will be safe for single shear, but it will fail in punching shear. Two-way shear मध्ये ती fail will depth, it will get failed in two-way shear. But if you provide the depth as a 460 mm, then it is safe in two-way shear as well as it is safe in one-way shear also, because for one-way shear the requirement is 240 and we are providing 460. Okay, so why we are solving the problem, this problem like this? Because in the book if you find, it is not solved in this way whatever we are doing right now. Okay, this is the shortcut I am telling you. In book, what they have told you, you have to first assume the certain depth, that is 500 mm, 300 mm, 400 mm, that you should assume, and then you should do the steel calculation, bending moment, and then you should take the check for depth. Okay, and 90% in the problem of the footing, after when you take the check for two-way shear, one-way shear, our depth fails. Okay, so that is why this is the methodology by which now there is no need to check that two-way shear and one-way shear checking. चेक घ्यायची तुम्हाला इथे गरज नाही आहे टू वे शेअर आणि वन वे शेअरची, पंचिंग शेअरचा आणि वन वे शेअरचा चेक घ्यायची. देर इज नो नीड. वाय देर इज नो नीड? Because by considering that only we have evaluated the depth. Okay, so here the method becomes less short and our times also saves. Okay, and it is not become so much lengthy. So if you follow this procedure, then it will be very helpful to you. So please note it down. It is not there in the book. Okay, if you find Ramamrutam or Punmiya book, it is not given like this. So now we have calculated the depth by two-way shear and one-way shear. Okay, so two-way shear says that 460, one-way shear says us 240. Okay, so here we will provide the maximum depth. So now I will write. So therefore provide the maximum depth, the maximum depth from one way and two way shear considerations. One way and two way shear considerations. Okay, so therefore we will take D is equal to 460 mm. We will provide D is equal to what? 460 mm. And for footing now, the clear cover is 50 mm and assume the bar diameter as 16 mm. Okay, or you can also take the 20 mm bar diameter also. Okay, so here what we will do, assume clear cover is equal to 50 mm and assume clear cover as 50 mm and bar diameter, we will assume 20 mm bar diameter 20 mm. Okay, we will provide the 20 mm bars. Now what will be our overall depth then? What will be our overall depth? So here overall depth capital D is equal to your effective depth 460 plus 50 clear cover plus half of bar diameter. Let me know the answer. कशाबद्दल? बरं, आणि आपले नेटचा स्पीड किती आहे लॅबला? हाय स्पीड इंटरनेट विथ ऑप्टिकल केबल.
तेवढं थोडं सांगायचं.
आता लगेच लेक्चर थांबू का?
2 मिनिट थांबाय, 8 मिनिटात तुमचं संपतं.
See, there is a much more important work, so please wait for 5 minutes. Please wait. I will come within 5 minutes. Okay. केलमार सर कशाबद्दल माहिती सांगायची? Please wait. I will come. Okay. Within 5 minutes maximum, but 5 to 7 minutes I will be there. Okay, so here now overall depth, let me know the value of this overall depth. 460 plus 50 plus 20 by 2. What is the answer? 460 plus 10, 470, 520 mm. Okay, so this is our overall depth, which is 520 mm. So now we have evaluated what should be our effective depth. Our effective depth is 460. Our overall depth is 520. Okay, so we have assumed 50 mm clear covers. For footing, the cover is 50 mm. Okay, and bar diameter is 20 mm. So now the bending moment. Now we will go for bending moment. So for bending moment, bending moment. So for the bending moment, critical section, critical section is taken at the face of the column. So remember these things. Okay, for two-way shear, the critical section is taken at the d by 2 from all the four sides from the face of the column. Okay, for one-way shear, we take the critical section at a distance d, that is small d. Okay, vertical strip and horizontal strip. Okay, on two sides. And for the bending moment, we take the section, that is our critical section is at the face of the column. So we will draw the diagram of this. So let us say that this is our column, and now I will draw the footing. This is our footing. So you know all the dimensions. Okay, so this is 2.75 meter. This is also 2.75 meter. Then this column 0.5 meter, and this is also 0.5 meter. 500 mm means 0.5 meter. Okay, so these things are known to us. So we will take two critical sections. First, this is the critical section YY. Okay, and this is the critical section XX. Horizontal is X, vertical is Y. Okay, these are the two critical sections. This is the section YY on the face of the column, and this is the section XX on the face of the column. Okay, where at these points we are going to find out the bending moment. So what is the formula for bending moment? Bending moment here it is calculated as WL square by 2. WL square by 2 from the face of the column. See here, from the face of the column, whatever this length remains, this length, it is considered as L. This length is considered as L, horizontal, not this vertical. For this section, for this YY section, this length, if the section is vertical, your length must be horizontal. That this horizontal length it is considered as a L, and for this horizontal section X, this vertical length is considered as L. Okay, so now let us see how to evaluate the bending moment. Okay, so consider y direction first. Okay, so I will consider y direction. First we have to find out the intensity of the UDL. What is the UDL in kilonewton per meter? For that, for your simplicity, now I will draw the diagram. It is not necessary to draw in the examination. So for your understanding I am drawing now. See, this is column, this is our column. Okay, now I will draw the section line. This is the vertical section YY at the face of the column. Right. This is the vertical section YY, section YY at the face of the column. Okay. And now this remaining portion also I will draw. This is the edge of the footing. Okay, that also I will draw. So here this is the edge of the footing. Are you getting the diagram? Okay, what I have drawn only this part. With this column, I have drawn only this part. Okay, this is our column, this is our section YY, and this part of footing I have drawn over here. Okay, so as we know that this is our footing edge, one edge of the footing. Okay, footing or foundation, footing edge. Okay, and now see, if I consider length, this length over here, we need to calculate the UDL which is acting on this length. What is the UDL? And this UDL, let us say this as WY. We don't know the value of WY, we need to calculate that, but say that this UDL is WY. And what is this length? We have already calculated this length. This length, you know that. How much it is this length? We have previously calculated, it is 1.125 meters. Okay, we have already calculated, you can see the previous slides. Okay, so here it is, this length is 1.125. Okay, and this total length from this point here, this total length is, this is you know that 2.75 meter. This length is 2.75 meter. Now how do we calculate the UDL? We want to calculate this WY. Okay, we want to calculate this WY. Now see, I will tell you, this WY is nothing but UDL, and its unit should be kilonewton per meter. Okay, we know the intensity of the soil. What was the intensity of the soil? What was the value for the soil intensity? 297.52. Okay, so we know that this 297.52 is the soil intensity, and it is in kilonewton per meter square. Okay, it is in kilonewton per meter square. If we multiply this by one of the length which is in meter, then what we will get, if you see the unit, this is kilonewton per meter square. If we multiply this by one of the length which is in meter, here the two lengths are there with us, one is 1.125 and one is 2.75. किसके साथ मल्टीप्लिकेशन करना है वो बाद में सोचेंगे, लेकिन द कॉन्सेप्ट इज दैट कि वी आर हैविंग द इंटेंसिटी, दैट इज सॉइल प्रेशर. वी नो व्हाट इज द सॉइल प्रेशर. Okay, and that soil pressure is in kilonewton per meter square. So if you multiply, now see the unit, if you multiply this kilonewton per meter square by meter, then ultimately you will get the unit as kilonewton per meter. This meter and this meter square will get cancelled, and what will remain? Kilonewton per meter. Just a moment, I will put on the charging. Okay, so I hope now you understood this. Okay, we are having intensity which is having a unit of kilonewton per meter square. If you multiply it by one of the length which is in meter, then if you see the unit conversion, that kilonewton per meter square into meter, it will, we will get the value here, we will get some value in kilonewton per meter, that we want to do. Okay, now come back here. Here now you can see, here WY we want to calculate, this length is 2.75 and this length is 1.125. We want to calculate the UDL on 1.125 meter length. Okay, so we should multiply by 2.75, so that we will get the UDL on 1.125 meter length. We always say that the UDL on a span of 4 meter, suppose it is 5 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so when you say that UDL is acting on a length of 4 meter, okay, it says that for 1 meter it is 5 kilonewton. Similar thing is there, we are having intensity now, we are having the pressure. Okay, and we want to convert that soil pressure into the UDL. So on जिस लेंथ पे वो यूडीएल निकालना है ना, उस लेंथ को छोड़ दो, उसकी जो अपोजिट लेंथ है, जिस लेंथ पे वो यूडीएल नहीं है, उस लेंथ से हमें क्या करना है, मल्टीप्लाई करना है. ओके, सो we have to multiply it by 2.75. Okay, don't multiply by 1.125 because on 1.125 we want to calculate the UDL. Okay, so here while calculating the UDL, what we will do, WY is equal to, it is 297.52 into 2.75. So you will get the load, because this unit is kilonewton per meter square, multiplied by this is in meter. So your final answer will be in kilonewton per meter. Okay, so let me know the answer. What is the answer of this multiplication? What is the answer? 818.18. Okay, 818.18 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this is the WY. Okay, now calculate the bending moment. Once you get the load, then calculate the bending moment for section Y. It is WL square by 2, which is equal to 818.18 into L square. L is our length, this length is 1.125, so it is 1.125 square divided by 2. So calculate this. 517.75. Okay, 517.75 kilonewton meter. So this is the bending moment in Y direction, on the Y face of the column, Y section. Okay, similarly now for the X also we want to calculate. Okay, so same thing is there. Okay, so again I will draw the diagram for X also, so that it will be easier for you to understand. So now again, suppose this is our column. Now this is the column. Now section XX is the horizontal section. So this is our section XX. Okay, and now again we will draw the edge of the footing. So your footing may start here. This is the upper side of the footing. Okay, so this is the footing edge. Now see WX. For the WX, now we want to calculate the UDL on this side. Okay, here what is the UDL is acting, we call this as a WX because this is our section XX. This is the WX, and now what will be this length? This length you already know. This length from this point to this point, we have already calculated 1.125 meters. Okay, this length is 2.75 meters. So again same thing will be there. Again same thing will be there. So again if I want to calculate the WX, if I want to calculate the WX, so my intensity is 297.52 multiplied by, now I want to load UDL on this length. So इस लेंथ को छोड़ दो, जो रिमेनिंग लेंथ कौन सी है 2.75. So I need to multiply it by 2.75 because I want the UDL on 1.125. अगर अपोजिट केस होता, सपोज नाउ वी वांट टू कैलकुलेट द UDL on 2.75, देन हम इस इंटेंसिटी को 1.125 से मल्टीप्लाई करते. Okay, so on which length you want to calculate the UDL, spare that length and multiply by opposite length, then you will get the conversion of this pressure, soil pressure, into the UDL. I hope now you understood this. So here it is multiplied by again 2.75. So same thing is there. WX is equal to 818.18 kilonewton per meter. Again the bending moment in X direction, it is WL square by 2, which is again same 818.18 into how much it is 1.125 square divided by 2. What was the answer we have calculated previously? Bending moment in x direction, it is 517.75 517.75 kilonewton meter. Now we got the value of bending moment. Now the final thing is remaining, that is the check for depth. Okay, now you know the values of bending moment. Now you are going to take the check for depth. So I will give the heading check for depth. Check for depth. Okay, so to take the check for depth, what we will always do, we will equate the bending moment, that is our maximum bending moment, to moment of resistance. So our maximum bending moment is now 517.75 into 10 to the power 6, which is equal to MR, it is 0.138, FCK is 20. Okay, FCK is 20. Now BD square. What is the B? Now if you see the footing here, now we have not assumed per meter length calculation like staircase, like slab. In that we always considered our width is 1 meter. But in the footing we have not considered that. I have not told you since the problem start that our width is 1 meter. I have not told you this. Okay. So now see where you are calculating the bending moment. Now which bending moment you have taken? Suppose now you have taken the bending moment in x direction. Okay, so if you taken the bending moment in x direction, so this is your length, the horizontal dimension becomes your length. If you are taking the bending moment in x direction, the x direction becomes your length and y direction becomes your width. Are you getting my point? Okay, see this is your footing. If you taken the horizontal section, horizontal, that is x section, x section को जो कुछ भी bending moment आई है वो अगर आपने consider की होगी, तो this x section, the dimension which is parallel to x, it will become your length, and the dimension perpendicular to it, it will become your width. Okay, अभी हमारे केस में दोनों सेम है because we are designing the square footing. So this is 2.75, this is also 2.75. Okay, and when you consider the maximum bending moment for y section, इन दोनों में से अगर y की maximum होती bending moment, if you consider if the bending moment of y is maximum, then the axis is vertical. So which is the vertical dimension? This dimension is vertical dimension. This will become your length, and the opposite dimension will become your width. Okay, so here our width is 2750. 2.75 means 2750 into d required square. Okay, so therefore now if you simplify this, you will get the value of d required. Let me know the value. Two 261. Okay, so this is 261 mm, which is less than d provided. What we have provided? Effective depth 460 mm. Okay, so this is safe, hence it is safe. Okay, 261.17. Okay, it's okay, it is nearly 265, 262, but we have provided 460, so it is safe now. So see that if you calculate the depth from bending moment in the first step, okay, अभी हमने जो problem solve किया है, we have gone by this way, that is why our checks are satisfied. If you have calculated the bending moment first, then you provide the depth, and if you take the check for depth of bending moment, then it is okay, it is fine, the check is safe. But if you taken the same depth, that is 261, if depth is there, then you will finalize the depth at 265, maximum 270. Okay, but that 270 depth is not sufficient for your one-way shear as well as for your two-way shear. Okay, and this is the most of the problem occur while during designing the footing. The depth fails for one-way shear and two-way shear. That is why we have adopted this methodology. Okay, we have directly evaluated the depth from two-way and one-way shear. Okay, so now there is no need to check the depth for one-way shear and two-way shear. Only the check for bending moment is sufficient. Okay. So now the last part remaining, that is the steel calculation. Now in the next lecture what we will look for, we will calculate the steel. We will do the steel design. Steel in x direction for the bending moment in x direction, and steel in y direction for the bending moment in y direction. That we will calculate x direction steel, y direction steel, and lastly we will draw the reinforcement details along the cross section of the footing. Okay, so that we will take in the next lecture. For today we will stop over here.